Hello, everyone. It is me, Demetra K, and I hope that you are having a great day. I should say that the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with an emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Also, thank you so much to my wonderful moderators for everything that you do in holding down the comment section. And I also like to say thank you all who joined me this morning at 11 a.m. Central Time on the African Diaspora News Channel. It was my pleasure to converse with you once again, and we'll do it again tomorrow at the same time, 11 a.m. Central Time. So today we're going to be talking about California Governor Gavin Newsom vetoing 5 reparations, reparative justice bills for descendants of slavery. And it sounds like that happened yesterday, so we'll get into that. Of course, we talked about it a couple of days ago where one passed, right? It was a reparation bill, so to speak. It really wasn't. It passed, but yeah, he said no to 5 of them. So let's see who's here before we get started. Mike, nice. How you doing? Nice to see you once again. Kara, what's going on with you? Long time no see. Kevin, how you doing? Sunlight, nice to see you as well. And Kevin, let's see. Rex, how you doing? It says no, we didn't expect differently, but some people did, right? Some people did expect differently. Nikki, how you doing? Yolanda, what's going on with you? It says from Los Angeles, California. Easy E, how are you? Long time no see. Brother Red G says, yep, no surprise there. Sister Shirley, what's going on with you? And again, you guys' names are flipped around again. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but it's tripping. And Buck Horse, how you doing? So again, let's give everybody else just another moment. Carrie, you say, I heard he passed the agency though. Yeah. What good is an agency if there's no money, or nothing to go in the agency, right? So yeah, it was just a bunch of nothing to get people excited that, carried on the string per se, but we'll get into it. Patty Brown, what's going on with you? Says, hey, sis, I can't be the only person getting sick of homeboy. Well, you'd be surprised. A lot of people love Gavin Newsom, believe it or not. Diane, I hope that you are doing well. Brother Salam, what is going on with you? So anyway, Niners fan, how you doing? Again, you guys' names are kind of switched around, so you might have had another name that I recognize, and now maybe not so much. Yes, D'Angelo passing is crazy. When I was on the African Diaspora News Channel, somebody put RIP to D'Angelo in the chat, and I was like, D'Angelo who? And then, of course, we know that is D'Angelo Brown Sugar, right? Singer, and I mean, just a wonderful musician all the way around. And I passed a pancreatic cancer, which they say that's one of the hardest cancers to cure. They said it's almost always a death sentence. So it's crazy. 51 years old, a baby in the larger scheme of things. Now, of course, you all know that he and Angie Stone had a child together, a son, and earlier this year she died in a kind of a freak accident, so they say, right? So now their child is without a mother and a father, so it's really sad. So a musical royalty, both of them gone, but their memories and their beautiful music will live on forever. So I just that kind of took me aback, as I'm sure it did with a lot of people. The Silent Investor, how you doing? Hope that you're doing well. Detroit Forever says, yeah, I know those undocumented Latinos just love Newsom, you think? Yeah, Brother Reggie, 51 years old is a baby. King Noble, how you doing? Sister Shirley says, how many times are we going to be bamboozled or hoodwinked by the Democrat Party? They have no plan on passing a reparations bill for the descendants of slaves in America. That is true. Negroes, how you doing? So, okay, I've tap danced long enough. Let's get into it. Absolutely, Black America. Rip to D'Angelo. So, okay. It sounds like yesterday, Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed 5 bills related to reparative justice, all a part of the Road to Repair legislative package proposed by the California Legislative Black Caucus. Of course, we've heard a whole lot about them, and I'll get into one of them in just a second. Now it says, while he signed another measure, and we talked about this the other day, SB 518, creating a bureau for descendants of American slavery. He rejected several bills that would have granted benefits or preferences to descendants of enslaved people. In his veto messages, Newsom argued that many of the bills were legally risky, unnecessary, or practically unworkable. He expressed concern that offering ancestry-based preferences could violate existing bans on race-based actions, for example, Proposition 209, and he questioned whether the relevant state agencies had the capacity or the authority to administer some of the proposed programs, which, thinking about it, is like, okay, then why did y'all spend $12 million or so on a study if you knew all of this, right? Anyway, moving right along. So the bills that he vetoed was AB 7. This was sponsored by that of Isaac Bryan. Now, that one allows, but does not require colleges, and we talked about this once before, colleges, public or private, to give admissions preferences to applicants who are descendants of enslaved persons. Now, Newsom said it was unnecessary because institutions already have discretion over admissions policies. He also flagged legal risk given bans on race-based preferences. Again, if y'all already knew all that, then why did you waste all that money on the study, right? Now, AB 57, sponsored by Tina McKinnon, says in the California Dream, okay, listen for this, California Dream for all, it says it's a down payment assistance program set aside 10% of funding for descendants of enslaved people. But see, there's that technology for all, but then it says descendants for enslaved people. Now, Gavin argued that an ancestry-based set-aside poses legal risk and might jeopardize the state's access to federal mortgage programs. Again, if you knew all of that, then why waste all that money? Now, again, Tina, she sponsored AB 62. It says creates a role for civil rights department to investigate racially motivated eminent domain takings and provide redress for descendants. Now, Newsom raised concerns about administrative feasibility and whether the department had the expertise to adjudicate complex claims. So that was kind of a study, right? Let's get a department together to study to see who all was affected by having their land eminent domain, right, taken from them. So it wasn't really anything, it was another study, but he was like, I don't see the point, pretty much, right? Now another one was AB 742, and that was by Sade El-Wari. Now it creates an expedited licensing pathways in Department of Consumer Affairs for those who are descendants of enslaved people. So basically, sounds like you can get a business license without all of the red tape. But Gavin said, he likely viewed this as problematic from a legal or equal opportunity perspective, licensing benefits tied solely to ancestry. So he says, no, I don't think so. Now, the last one is AB 76 by David Alvarez. And it says one of the 5 vetoes listed in the official legislative update, though this bill was actually about surplus land and exempt surplus land in planning area. Now, Gavin said this was not, well, they are saying rather, this was not strictly a part of the reparative justice package. Its veto seems unrelated to reparations. So he just vetoing stuff left and right. Now, some media and advocates count a slightly different 5th bill in the reparative justice list. For example, references to diversity, equity, and inclusion strategic plan. But in his official update, Newsom named AB 76 among the 5 he vetoed that day. So he was including everything, okay? Now, legal constraints, California's Proposition 209. I know this is a lot, but I kind of want to get through this. I'm almost done. So California Proposition 209, 1996 to be exact, bars public institutions from considering race, sex, ethnicity, or national origin in admissions or contracting, even though the bills were ancestry-based, not explicitly race-based. So it's like, what are we doing? They're race-based, but not race-based. Like, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Now, many experts and Newsom himself viewed them as vulnerable to legal challenge. Now, Newsom questioned whether state agencies have the expertise, capacity, or authority to administer investigations or benefits based on lineage claims. Again, if y'all knew all of that, then why did y'all go forth with spending $12 million on a reparations study, right? Remember, they had that whole commission, everything took like 4 years or so. Now, He also, they said, favored building institutions first, such as the Bureau of Descendants of American Slavery, before deploying direct benefits. He signed SB 518, creating that bureau around the same time. So again, he wants to build something that you can't do anything in because he vetoed every damn thing, right? Now, these vetoes slow or stall the momentum behind reparations in California, especially since many of the bills were built from recommendations of the state's reparation task force. Okay, so I said all of that to say, and that was, basically all the language. Gavin said, you ain't gonna get a damn thing. Okay, you ain't gonna get a damn thing. I knew you weren't gonna get a damn thing, but I pretended that you were gonna get a damn thing by giving them, a little $12 million. Here, y'all go sit down for 4 years and study why there needs to be reparations for descendants of slavery in California and all this other stuff. But he, and even I would imagine the California Legislative Black Caucus, knew that they were never going to do anything of substance for descendants of slavery there in California. But again, here's this whole little dog and pony show. Now, before I show you Isaac Bryan's response, you guys remember last year, August of last year to be exact, where they had everybody hopeful that they were going to go and put the reparations bill. One was for a Freedmen's Bureau. We don't hear nothing about that anymore. And the other one was actually the money. They were going to put that on Gavin Newsom's desk for him to either pass it or veto it, and they didn't do either. Of course, you guys remember Isaac Bryan. He was the one with his arms crossed when he got caught by Assemblyman Bill Esseley, a Republican, who, busted him or whatever. And so here we are, another veto. We knew that was going to happen, but this is what Isaac Bryan said. So this is the article that was put up yesterday. So it says Governor Gavin Newsom vetoes 5 bills for reparative justice for Black Californians. Let me remove this for a second. So, and then he says, the governor and I done incredible work together across many issue areas. But this is beyond disappointing, and we cannot stop pushing for what our people deserve, especially in this moment. But so the issues that he's talking about, that they work together, we know that they work together a lot for illegal immigration and a whole host of other things that have absolutely nothing to do with Black Californians at all. And as y'all can see, Isaac Bryan appears to be a Black man, right? He's part of his district, I believe, is South Central, Crenshaw and all of that. He walks, I have to say he talks Black. I don't know how Black he walks, but he's a great pretender. And so there he is pretending to be disappointed. But we know that they really didn't want that to pass anyway, because when they were blocking it last year, they said, oh, well, this is going to be multi-years of a study. So they knew that Gavin, I'm going to say allegedly, they knew that Gavin wasn't going to pass those bills. But again, I don't know how hopeful anybody really was, because there was no money on none of those bills. It was maybe woulda, coulda, shoulda. Could you go to school? No, you can't go to school, because then you got the United States Supreme Court basically ruled against that, right? When Edward Blum and the Asian students, they went up there and say it's not fair, affirmative action. So they got rid of the educational component of that. So we knew that wasn't going to fly. And all this eminent domain stuff, they're not trying to give Black people their land back. They barely did it with Bruce Beach a couple of years back. So it was just really a lot of nothingness. But the good news is Black people here in America, if Gavin Newsom does run, which a lot of people think that he may run, right? A lot of people think that he is going to throw his hat in the ring for 2028 for the presidency of the United States. This is something that we should not forget, because if he'll do that to Black Californians, which is less than 6%, although those bills were also going to consider Black Californians who left because they could not afford to stay. But if he would do that to Black Californians, veto all those bills and all this other stuff, what is he going to do to Black Americans if he becomes president? The same thing, benign neglect, and unapologetically do it, even though they wasted all that money. I mean, $12 million, they could have done something for Black Americans. It's not enough. It's not a lot at all, but it could have been something. But instead, they wanted to waste the money to pretend that they were going to actually do something for Black Californians. And so this is something we shouldn't forget, because it is said that Kamala Harris was, in a sense, punished by some California Blacks due to what the California Legislative Black Caucus did to them and not putting those bills before the floor. In fact, one of the sisters there was like, Your home girl, that's the word she used. Your home girl. Oh yeah, she gonna pay for that, for what y'all did. So, we should never forget that. So anyway, let me get into the comment section. Thank you for bearing with me. I appreciate y'all. Let me go all the way back to the top. See who joined us. Y'all got a lot of comments in here today. All right, here we go. Alex, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Computer Blue, what's going on with you? It says Prince and Vanity in 2016 and D'Angelo and Angie. Ain't that crazy? That is absolutely crazy. Mad Dog, how you doing? Says, I don't trust none of them. I don't blame you. Brooklyn Besta, how you doing? Says, how do they keep falling for this? I think most people are probably not really falling for it anymore. I think most people are like, if you do, you do, right? I think most people, after, like Sister Shirley said, got bamboozled last year when they didn't even take the bills to the floor. I think most Black Californians is like, okay, I'm good, thank you. Yolanda, how you doing? Says, there were a lot of people bashing D'Angelo for not being in attendance to Angie's funeral. People don't understand that everyone is dealing or going through a silent battle. Yeah, you know what? I almost use the H word, hate. I despise people like that, because it's the internet, especially. You got a lot of thumb thugs, very judgmental people talking about everybody all day long and why he wasn't there, and the man is battling cancer, right? And you would think people would learn from that of Chadwick Boseman, right? Remember when he lost all that weight and people's, oh, what's wrong with him? And turns out the man was sick with cancer and died. Sometimes people just learn to just shut their mouths, because they always got something to say. Don't judge everybody else, tell them what to do, and they can't even get their own lives together. But yeah, that's horrible, horrible. And, I hope that he didn't see any of that, which he probably did. Why wasn't he at her funeral? And then, like, mind your business. Was you there? So yeah. Albie Chill, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Negro says, they acting like this is rocket science. Exactly. Black America says, no reparations, deal with it. No, we gonna get it. It's not if, it's when, homie. We will get it. America has to atone for what it did to our people. Now, if you don't want your check, hey, divvy it on up to me. I'm sure everybody else will love a piece of it, but we gonna get it. You can best believe that. Cynthia, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. John, what's going on? She says, why is anyone shocked about this? I'm not shocked. But I think it should be a reminder. See, that's how they think of us. See, nothing's changed. See, they need Black people to vote, right? To get them in office, but they never want to do anything for Black people. But as a lot of people said, and we know that Karen Bass, I can't think of the name of the card, but this particular card has money on it for immigrants, illegal immigrants who are afraid to come out of the house because they're afraid ICE is going to snatch them up. So they have an Angelino card or something like that. And they get money. Black Americans get nothing specific at all. So yeah, we need to remember that. That's how they think of us, but they'll need us to vote, and our votes, don't forget this either, our votes make it possible for them to do stuff like that for everybody else and nothing for us. See, Gavin Newsom, in a sense, knows that we as Black Americans, we do have amnesia when it comes to the stuff that they do to us. And so, of course, they know most of us will get all wrapped up into the symbolism and the dancing and the twerking and all this other stuff when it comes election time. And, we'll forget most people who just want Trump out of office. And so, if he runs, they'll vote for him. And Black Americans will get absolutely nothing again. So, yeah. Who else is on here? Gwen, how you doing? Says, Democrats suck. Well, tell us how you really feel. Righteous, how you doing? Says, wait, he just made some nothing burger agency. Now he vetoes reparations bill. That's what I'm saying. What was he supposed to do? You want the agency, right? There's this agency, but the agency is kind of null and void because you need to do the, as a lot of the opposition to that agency said, you need to do the genealogical information, the data system and all of that. That's not even built at all. So what are you going to be doing in this agency? Just looking at each other? Hey, how you doing? Nice office here, isn't it? What are we doing here? I don't know, because he vetoed every damn thing. So we're just here, But They know that most people won't connect the dots like that. Okay, there's an agency, but ain't nothing to do in the agency because he said we ain't doing nothing in the agency. Weird. Alex says, I knew he was sneaky. Dano, how you doing? Says California politicians are trash. Most of them are, but yeah, California it's a different breed altogether. JJ, how you doing? Says Democrats are just jerking FBA around again. Well, I'm gonna say this. There's a lot of maybe not FBA like Foundational Black American by name, but there were some ADOS folks, without saying their names, who were on board with that. Y'all could go look at the bill. It'll say people who supported the bill and or groups who opposed it, and ADOS, the one that y'all see on Twitter and all that, they were all for it. They were all for what Isaac Bryan was doing. This bill for education that got vetoed, that kind of included everybody else too. ADOS was on board. If you think I'm lying, go look it up. So why would they sign on for something like that? Fire in the Sky, how you doing? Says he morphed into Ronald Reagan right before our eyes. And Jinky, and again, y'all names are all kind of crazy. How you doing? Says this is already historical facts in place to prove everything. There is rather already historical facts in place to prove everything. Okay. Brother Ernest, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just bullish. What's going on with you? Our Negro says he has no intention on moving forward. This is all theater. They think this is a game. Yeah, because it has been a game to us, right? We're like, oh, okay, then maybe next time they'll, because that's what they're telling us, right? Oh, next time they'll, we're gonna try to do something. That's what Isaac Bryan said. Oh, I'm disappointed, but we're gonna keep fighting, especially for a time like this. What time is this? Because Trump is in office. Trump wasn't in office in August of 2024 when he was running around like that. Trump wasn't in office then. So what you talking about, sucker? What time is this are you talking about? You just sitting up there gaslighting. Gaslighting. Well, we'll get him next time. No, you won't, because you didn't want to get him the last time. So stop lying. See, that's the stuff that makes me mad. Isaac Bryan sitting up there pretending like he's so disappointed about Black people not getting anything, but he romping and stomping against ICE and a whole host of other things. See, that's where his attention really is. It's not really on us. They just throw us some bones. Okay, just throw that out there and they'll get excited like a dog. They'll go chase it or whatever the case is. And then when they see there's no meat on the bone, they'll come back and then we'll get another bone and we'll throw it back out there, keep them busy while we actually doing something for everybody else. So yeah. Nate, how you doing? Says he isn't afraid of ADOS. Gavin Newsom is full of ish. Well, wait a minute now. How you doing, by the way? Did you look at the bill? I read the bill. I read, the summary, and I read the language and all of that, the who's for it and who's against it, and the group that I see, because me and you are friends on Facebook, that you're a part of, ADOS, was cool for it. They was good. Yeah, especially the agency, they were for that. And it's like, why are you for that? Especially when it has language in there that says that they can add non-descendants. So why would ADOS be for that? That blew me away, Nate, to be honest with you, no disrespect, but that blew me away. And it's like, so y'all, not y'all, you, but I'm saying ADOS, are they going up to Gavin Newsom and Isaac Bryan? And I know that they are, because I see Yvette Carnell especially, she's buddies with Isaac Bryan. Is like, why? Why is she buddies with him after what he did to Black people in California? What about that? Does she think she should be, dapping him up for? That was a sucker ass move he did. Excuse my French, but that makes me mad. That was a sucker move that he did. And yet, ADOS, no disrespect. I feel like I have to say that because I don't want to come off like that, because right now I'm a little bit angry about it. But they think, they're speaking for all of us. Is that what this is? They're not speaking for me, because I would have never agreed to any of that. So, but when they do that, they allow Isaac Bryan and all of them, who being Black Americans, no earthly good, to think, well, ADOS is cool with it because they up here. Yeah, you did. Matter of fact, she said, oh, great job on what you did about this whack educational bill. She big up them for that. So they think that, she and ADOS is speaking for the rest of us. How is she speaking for the rest of us when most of us would never sign up for any of that? See, that's what I'm saying. We got to know you know, who is for us and who is not for us. Because I always ask this: what's your angle? What's in it for you? What's in it for you to go up there and say, "Oh man, you're doing a good job," when you saw that bald-headed sucker with his arms bent, you know, acting like he was doing something for black people, and now all of a sudden he cool because he said, "Oh, I'm trying." Well, and all of us don't want to go to school. I've got 2 degrees. I don't need no more education. So that bill that he was ramming for, was it really for us or was it for everybody else? I'm just asking. Excuse my passion. How you doing, Nate? Enlightened One, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Timothy, what's going on? And Common Man says the reparations aren't for the nation. They are for descendants of slaves. He says that word held in California, which was only 1,500 and 4,000 people from 1849 until 1861. So yeah, there's this whole lineage thing. They have to prove all of that. And then for the people who were there, eminent domain. So there's a lot of other issues as well. So yeah. Daniel says California politicians do nothing for Black Americans at all. Charles, how you doing? Says, why do Black American people, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, still think white supremacy America today has changed since 1,600 years ago? I don't know who this y'all. This says I can't think of too many people who think that white supremacy has changed. It's never changed, never. Now there's some, but I don't think that. I think only a fool would think that. Let's see. Let me skip down a little bit because I know I'm behind Derek. How you doing? He says they'll go hard for illegal immigrants. Black people keep voting blue no matter who. Yeah, we need to stop doing that. Majid, how you doing? He says 400 plus years. Where is my 1 mil? Bump it up. Bump it up. Let's go. Pharaoh, how you doing? Says Argentina got $20 billion. $20 billion from the Trump administration. Did y'all see their president? He's singing some rock and roll song. He's it just sounded like a hot mess. But you know, I guess he's like, yeah, they just gave me 20 billion large. So I'm gonna be screaming and singing. Easy says, so basically the reason for them denying it, the cost of the proposal is more than the entire state budget. He's saying cost direct cash payments aren't feasible during budget deficits. He's saying a whole bunch of nothing. Yeah, he's kind of saying we can't afford it, or will it work, and who's going to be over this agency. Just a bunch of, smoke signals or whatever, just to confuse people. That's all that is. But they all knew. They supposed to be legislating for people. They smart enough to know what they were doing. Just throw a whole bunch of confusion out there so they don't know what's going on, because they know most of us won't read it, and they know most of us won't see who was for the bill and who was against the bill, which is how I know. Let's see. Sherry says, why waste our time playing games? These people truly think we're dumb and stupid, but I guess we are if we continue voting Democrats without asking or getting anything. Absolutely. Common Man says most of the former slaves in California no longer live there, and a lot of them were Native Americans at Demetri. Yeah, but a lot of people were brought there under the Fugitive Slave Act, and people who were there had their land taken. So it's a whole lot of stuff. It wasn't just slavery. It's a lot of ills and horrors that took place with Black Americans there in California. So I hear what you're saying, though. William, how you doing? Says, why are... Okay, I see you on foolishness. Cynthia says, all Governor Gavin Newsom, slick Democrat, was pretending to do nothing except for bamboozling and hoodwinking FBAs before the presidential election. Yeah, and it's, some would say that cost Kamala for him doing that, because they directly said that. Oh, yeah, your homegirl, yeah, she going to have to pay for that. That's what they were telling Isaac Bryan. Y'all think y'all slick, but your homegirl, yeah, we not voting for her. Homegirl being Kamala, right? West Avenue, how you doing? Says Democrats are done. Absolutely. So I'm going to skip down a little bit, and I promise y'all I'll catch back up. Common Man, thank you so much for that. I love and appreciate you. So yeah, he says the reparations aren't for the nation. Got you. I understand what you're saying, but it wasn't just for slavery. There's some other things as well, like eminent domain. I think I said that, but yes, absolutely. But thank you. I love and appreciate you for that. Easy says Newsom is positioning himself on the national stage for his political future. Yeah, I think that he hasn't said, but it looks like that's the case. But it's like, you on a national level, you need Black Americans to show up for you. And he probably won't get as much as Kamala got, right? So he's going to need us, but we got to remember the games that they play. Chun, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says black screen. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Was I on the black screen? Renz, how you doing? It says greetings, just plain old smoke and mirrors by Governor Newsom. Y'all got all kind of names for him. Window, what's going on with you? Says, so what's the new greasy bomb? Poindexter, and so goes California. So goes the rest of the country. That means we're not voting for this fool. Yeah, we just need to keep that message out there. This is what he did. And he didn't do it by himself. He did it with a lot of the other black politicians there. The California Legislative Black Caucus playing games. But they signed up to help everybody else. Just like the regular caucus, Black Caucus in Washington. They help everybody else but their own. Because we know a lot of them aren't, Black Americans, or as some say, foundational Black Americans. El Buddha, how you doing? It says all the Democrats have to do is pretend you're going to do something for Black people come election time, and Black people will vote Democrat again. Oh, you listen, don't be confused. Black voters will vote overwhelmingly for the Democrats again, but will they vote as much as, when I say they, because I don't vote for the Democrats, but will they vote as much as they did for Kamala, Biden, or Obama, or whatever it is? So that's the question. But yeah, that's going to happen, but to what degree? Luke Skywalker, how you doing? He says, what is there to study? Just pay up. Well, that's the games they got to play. Oh, we're going to study. Like I said, at its basic level, everybody knows what slavery was about. They know everything about you already, but now they got to be doing all this lineage and DNA and, going down a rabbit hole to say, you know who we are. You know who we are. If I did a crime right now, they get one fingerprint and be able to tell you everything about me. But all of a sudden nowadays, when it comes to reparations, well, like, stop playing games. Brother Reggie says, if Gavin became president, God forbid, says he would just open the border, open women's restrooms and sports to men, and give everyone free bottles of hairspray. You crazy. If you talk about his hairspray, yeah, he probably would. California is very, very liberal when it comes to that kind of stuff. So yeah, more than likely, right? Because we know that Kamala, she said if she became president, that she would allow prisoners and illegal immigrants that are detained to get sex changes on the federal government's dime. Like, why do they even need to do that in there? I don't know. Arthur, how you doing? Says labor here. Yes, you are. Renee, what's going on with you? Black America says yes, we do need reparations, but we need to pool our own money, right? I do group economics. We need both. We do. Buckhorn says, but they will pay. They always love a war, and who will ask to fight it? I said you will pay. Cowards. Dang. What's going on with you today? Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Common Man, thank you so much once again for that. And I think I addressed that. Yeah, obviously a lot of those people, none of those people are still around, but the descendants are, right? So again, we know that there's other issues attached to that, not just slavery. So yes, but thank you once again. Who else haven't I seen? Matcha, Mucha, your names is all jacked up. So I'm gonna put it up here so you'll see. Wasn't like this before, but how you doing? It's my pleasure. Ivan, how you doing? Says I'm doing well. How about yourself? Okay, skip down. Yes, Common Man, California was one of the last states that held slaves. It wasn't technically a slave state, but they were complicit in slavery. Like I said, the Fugitive Slave Act, and allowing people who moved with slaves to keep their slaves. So they were complicit, most definitely. Lynn, how you doing? Says, right on, y'all. Let's not forget to spread the word to other FBAs. We will not continue to vote for these two-faced lying Democrat politicians and members of the California Black Caucus. Yeah, but they're lining themselves up to get the Latino vote, especially in California, and the Asian vote and things like that. Bob Law, how you doing? Says Gavin done already lost the 2028 election because of all who don't live in California still watching him. Yeah, there's a lot of people on a national level who do not like him, but it sounds like, just kind of from what I'm seeing, he's starting to sway people because, like I said, the Republicans they doing a lot, As y'all didn't see today, Trump gave Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom. I was just watching. I had to turn it off because his wife she's talking real slow and low. And I was like, okay. So he got the Medal of Freedom today. It's his birthday. And it's George Floyd's birthday too. So happy birthday to George Floyd. Okay, skipping down. Who else haven't I seen? And I do want to catch up, so please forgive me. Yeah, I agree with that. Black America, black men and women do need to get married, pull that money together. We got to stop the division, right? KP, how you doing? Says agency is for naught. Yeah, it's a waste of time. Just to, so we can say, well, we got an agency. Like having a bank with no money. 48 TCO, how you doing? Let's see, because I want to catch up. Going all the way down. Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? He says reparations should be federal. The state will shortchange FBA. Federal for sure, and both, right? I wouldn't turn down both. And I'm so far behind. Oh my God. Frank, how you doing? Says facts. They don't ask for reparations when the Democrats in there, but when Trump in there, they want to fake ask for reparations. Yeah, because they know Trump and them ain't gonna give us reparations, but the Democrats supposed to love black people so much, but yeah, they don't even bother. Albie Chill says the way our people defended slow Biden from his past actions was proof of how our people forgot and forgive too quickly. Yeah, they said, well, he said he was sorry. He said he didn't mean it. He never said he was sorry. He said I was given bad information, but he never said he was sorry for, the things that he did to Black Americans with those crime bills and the things that he said, the crack and powder cocaine bills where powder cocaine, you got to crack, you didn't. He said he was given bad medical information and that's why he did that. But he never said, I'm so sorry. Never. And you know what? You're sorry. You write the check, and open up them doggone prisons, but they never did that. All right, moving right along, acknowledging everybody have not seen Dr. J.H. Irons. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mahaya, what's going on with you? Says the powers that be want us to be the permanent underclass. Yep. And some of that is on us, right? We got to work our way from that. Angela, how you doing? Says we haven't forgotten. Don't say nothing. Don't mention nothing. You are not going to play with Black Americans. There you go. Soda, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mad Dog in the building. Easy said, D, it's a shame. Newsom is looking toward his White House future. He's appeasing to base. Yeah, and I guess Black voters are in the Democrat base, but why? Why? Why are we still in the Democrat base when they have proven over and over again that they will never do anything specifically for Black Americans because we never make them. We just show up no matter what they do or do not do. I'm a Democrat for life. I'm a vote blue no matter who. And it's like, why? Nobody else does that. Everybody else gets something for their vote except for us. Negro says, I like you better, Antonio. ADOS and FBA should be working together. Yeah, that's why I don't get into any of that because it's a giant schism for whatever reason, but I don't like that they did that. I don't know why for that. Don't get me started again. I don't like that they did that at all. Common Man says Newsom knows that state of California cannot warrant reparations for the entire nation. Only a president and Congress can do that. So you're talking to somebody else. And well, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. Cricket, is that how you say it? How you doing? Whoa, I won't say that. But Black America says, Miss D, we as Black people don't and can't agree on anything. This is why no reparations, and we got to stop that. We got to come to the table and say, okay, what do we got? What's the plan? Let's go with it, right? You be quiet. You be quiet. Don't worry about why this person got to lead and why I can't. Just be quiet. Let's pick the best person to lead or a couple people, whatever it is, and let's all get behind it so we can get somewhere. But we got too many issues going on and we need to stop that. So I do agree with you. Dana, how you doing? Says Yvette Carnell went to Isaac Bryan to spur grassroots efforts in California. What did he get? What was the benefit? Well, Gavin Newsom vetoed everything. And you mean to tell me you don't think Isaac Bryan knew that? Isaac Bryan was infamously with his arms crossed, disrespecting Black Americans in California. So I'm just asking, like I said, excuse my passion, but who asked them to go do any of that for us? Why would they approve, support any of that stuff? A nothing burger for what? It's nothing. You can't say that you're trying to get reparations for American descendants of slaves, and it's nothing. Well, that's symbolism, because I know for a fact FBA and ADOS both rail against symbolism, which they should. So then how do you go to Gavin Newsom? And I doubt they talked to Gavin Newsom. If they did, I'd be surprised, but I know they was in like Flynn with Isaac Bryan. How do you go to him Talk about, well, we don't want no symbolism, but you support symbolism. Come on now. See, we got to wake up. That's the part that really makes me mad. We just, because like I said, I'm a Californian born and raised. I didn't ask for them to go speak for me, especially nothing like that. Now, I don't know, if they're from California, whatever the case is, but I didn't ask them to do that. I didn't ask them to go sign us up for nothing, because that's what it is. So I'm just saying. But I get you saying, no shade to any one of them. I just question what was the thinking behind that. I have my suspicions, but I ain't gonna say nothing because they're just, suspicions. Diane says Yvette is not for us. She is getting paid against the sea. Ooh, I didn't say that, but I read that. Kelly, how you doing? Says, how do you look up the reparations bill? You can go on Google, and you can just put in California reparations bill, restorative justice bills, and all that stuff will come up. It's like a California website and all that, like the different bills that are passed or trying to be passed in California. You can see all of that, enter it in. It'll give you the numbers and everything. It's really easy. And trust me, because I'm not that savvy when it comes to looking stuff up. But I found it. But you can see, I don't take my word for it. Please don't do that. Just trolling. How you doing? Says, wait, what? Veto 5 bills for agency building, been trying to tell the country about this clown. Yeah, I think most people know about Gavin, but they play black people for suckers all the time. That's not a secret. All right, let me skip down window. You says, and Isaac Bryan is definitely not. We're talking about someone, mama who is white, also had a white Latino. So therein lies many problems. Yeah, he was adopted by a white woman. I don't think he knows who his real parents are from what I read about him. But yeah, very telling. I promise I'm going to circle back around to everybody. I just want to make sure I get everybody. Lovely, how you doing? Says Yvette Carnell. Whoa, it's two faces. She speaks with a forked tongue. Tariq is her match. See, I don't get into all of that. I don't go that far into the weeds with that kind of stuff. And I purposely try not to do it. I just know what I saw as far as the people who supported that bill. And I just was like, why? Why would you support that? There's nothing to support. Why would you stamp? You can look and see it says ADOS. There's a few ADOS groups, but it definitely has them on it. Why? Maybe somebody knows, or y'all can ask her why. What's the reason? Ayo, how you doing? Says, I'm done with the Dems. And Diane, you say the same. Common Man says, Kamala still owes the DNC over $20 million. She played herself. She said, as long as I owe you, you'll never be broke, right? McNiffy, how you doing? I hope I said that right. It says Black National Reserve. Seriously, I don't know what that is in regards to. Cynthia, thank you so much for that. I love and appreciate you. Says Governor Newsom refused to invest millions into reparations for FBAs, but he's making sure the illegal immigrants get their millions. Yeah, every day they get, they're getting something, protecting them, making sure ICE stays away from them, and a whole host of things. Again, Karen Bass there in Los Angeles giving them that Angelino card because they can't go out the house because they're afraid they'll get snatched up. California has the most homeless black population. The most homeless black population in America is black, but California, black people are the most homeless, and people who are afraid to go out of the house because they shouldn't be in the house over here, they get money to stay in the house. But yet, Black Californians are most homeless, don't get no money to go into a house. Insanity. Black America says, I'm voting for anyone not pushing the gay agenda. I don't blame you. Sherman, how you doing? Say he is full of it. More grandstanding rather. And how you doing? By the way, one who cares. Did I say hello to you? If not, hello. Raymond, how you doing? Says, my people, please stay on code. Sister Shirley says the Democrats understand they can't do anything for ADOS, FBA Freeman. The government made us a bottom caste and plan on keeping it that way. Yeah, that is true, but we don't have to stay that way with all the money we got coming in our community every year, and we giving it all away, 97%. That's kind of all. There's the power right there in our vote. We are a very powerful group of people if we only know how to wield the power. We won't do that though. We won't stop shopping with everybody else. We won't stop voting for our oppression, like Dr. Claude Anderson said. Those are two very powerful things. And don't eat greedy off of us no matter what they do to us, because we don't have the sense God gave a cricket to not spend our money with people who will not do anything for us. See, the minute we stop and shut it down economically, that's when their little antennas go up and say, oh, I'm sorry, what were you saying? But until we do that, yeah, we're going to be, the bottom cast per se. Corey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sorry it took me so long to get to you. Going all the way down. He said he's a loser. Lene, did I say hello to you? Not hello. Moving on down. Charles says, Demetra and my Black FBA Foundation, no Black family. I love you all. Well, I love you too. Once again, Common Man, thank you. Did you hit the lotto? Says the government can find out everything about veterans like Donovan and myself. It's easy to find out everything about us. The FBI has our DNA. We can't even leave a hair if we break the law. That's what I'm saying. But all of a sudden, well, I don't know if you're a descendant or not. We got to do the studies and then study to see if we're going to get an agency to study to see who you are. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But they know that, unfortunately, not all of us, but Black Americans, we like carrots. The kind that they dangle. Just keep going. But we'll never get to bite it. So they're like, break out the carrot. So yeah. I'm gonna try to get to the bottom. And Frankie says we shouldn't be in any voting base but our own parties. Yeah, or at the very least be independent, nonpartisan. That's what I am, and I know a lot of you all are nonpartisan as well. Silky Danielle, how you doing? Hope that you're doing well. Michael, how you doing? Says everybody has victims in their ancestry. That doesn't incur a debt between us. Explain. Beverly White, how you doing? Says California Governor Newsom is still playing games with Black Americans. But yeah, we need to stop letting them do it, right? Say, no more. Negro says, has Farrakhan ever spoken to Trump? I don't think he's ever spoken to Trump, but he's definitely spoke on Trump for sure. Zionist World Order, how you doing? Says it's a nothing burger, but it's kind of a start. Study and all, isn't that a first? Maybe he wants to be president and do it nationwide. Hell to the no. I wanted to say something stronger, but I can't do that. I can't use that word on here. I want to use something real. Well, we got to wait and see. Nobody else has to wait and see. But Black Americans will wait and see. Let him do a study. Get him in office. And then we're going to wait and see. We're going to hope that he going to do something. You're like, sucker, I'm in here now, at least for the next 4 years. But guess what? About a year and a half until, it's time for me to be reelected again. What do y'all want to do now? I'll play a game with y'all, but that's about it. No, you got to do something. That's what Dr. Claude Anderson said. Hold them contractually to doing something for us. Because that's how it always is. Well, if you get me in office, nah, hell no. You don't, let's say you're selling something. And somebody comes in and says, hey, I really like that. I like that car. I ain't got no money right now, but do you mind if I take the car? I'm going to just take it. And when I get the money, I'm going to bring it back. You're going to be like, if you don't get your out of my store. And that's how we should be thinking. Absolutely. I love Muscle. How you doing? Says, wish he is a what? Black America says, Miss D, if the women don't want to be led by a husband, they definitely not going to listen to someone unless it's Beyonce or Cardi B. I don't listen to Beyonce or Cardi B. There's some women who don't want to be led by a husband, but that's not all women. In fact, I wouldn't even think it's most women. So I don't know. Thank you, Miss Silky Danielle. I love and appreciate you for that. Cynthia said, that's right. Independent FBAs are now 2 million strong by election time. 2028, we at least should be 8 million stronger. So where are you getting that number from, if you don't mind me asking? I think I know, but where are you getting that number? Dr. J. Etchie says, Black Americans and the Democrat Party relationship, we give it up before we go out on the date. Come on now. And then wonder why we left hungry. Yeah, I need the ring, sucker. You ain't getting horizontal with me. You need to put a ring on it. We need a date and all of that. Ain't gonna be trampoline to me. But see, we do. As black voters, we allow the Democrat Party to trampoline us. And yeah, y'all know what trampoline means. We allow them to do that. And they say, was it good for you? It was all right. You know, I could have had a V8. And we don't impose any demands. So we got to stop doing that. Absolutely. Okay. Going down. Charles says America spends money on what they want to do, not because they have to. Yeah, and that's a lot of us. We spend money on the want and needs, but a lot of wants. See, we don't need to spend money on the wants. We can very easily say, nah, I'm just going to go get some bread and milk or whatever it is, right? But I don't need to go out to the movies, buy new shoes or clothes or whatever every weekend and go out to these people establishments who don't really want me there. They just want my money. We could do that if we really wanted to. All right. So who else haven't I seen on here? 48 TCO says, I bet Californians would have liked an Angelino card if they had warrants, get paid to hide out. That's that's different. But okay, no, I hear what you're saying. It is the equivalent, right? Because they're over here against the law, but they're getting paid to do that, which is it's crazy to me. Insane. Albert Chillier says, we have to break the spell over us cast by Edward Bernays in regards to consumerism. Yes, indeed. If you know about Edward Bernays, it's funny. My daughter already knows about him. She has a degree like mine, so we have to study. But we were talking about Edward L. Bernays, I think it was yesterday, and the number he helped do on the American consumer. Absolutely. The Century of the Self. You'll learn a lot about him. It's on YouTube. The Century of the Self. It's a 4-part series from PBS a couple of years back. Really good. Let's see. James, he says, what in the hell did you expect? Did y'all expect? I don't know. Joe, how you doing? He says, tangible resources overlooked again, appears insecure, theater on stage. I can dig it. The truth is, how you doing? It says, being extreme consumerism is our downfall. Yes, just say, no, I don't need it. Delay the gratification. See, I'm one of those people, like if I put stuff in a basket, by the time I get up to the checkout, I'm like, do I really need that? A lot of times I say no. Yeah, I have to go over it over and over again. Do I really need that? No, you don't need it. Put it back. See what I'm saying? So we have to get good at doing that. Toxic, how you doing? Yolanda, did I say hello to you? I think I did, but I say hello again. And Toxic says, hi, Auntie, what sources did you use to find your lineage? I Googled, believe it or not. I put in my grandmother's information on both sides, my grandmother's and my grandfather's on both sides. And I just kept looking and digging and searching until I found our oldest ancestor. Let me see. 1 second. Because I have it here. There's just so much information. I just kept going down this rabbit hole. It was crazy. So our oldest ancestor that I found so far, it says Samuel Slave Wesson, born, no, wait, I think there's one more. 1815, and he's from South Carolina. I think that was the oldest one. Is that the oldest one? No. So his parents, Frederick J. Wesson and Polly Mary Duncan, does not have their birth information, but it's 1700s more than likely. So yeah, I just kept digging and looking, Googling, looking in different portals and stuff. And that's how I was able to find it. Yeah. So I was kind of blown away by that. Win, lose, or rug. Is that what it is? How you doing? It says, can't get reparations because once you trace the money back, we will learn how many of those companies are still around. Oh yeah, there's a lot of them around. Absolutely. They haven't gone anywhere. Monique, how you doing? Says we knew, and we know that man is FOS. If you know what that means, you know. All right. Frank Fairfax, how you doing? Says, no, not sucker. Yeah, sucker. I am so behind. It's crazy. L, how you doing? Says, this is why we're voting no on 50. 2 times Gavin is a devil. Have you seen what he and his aunt Nancy Pelosi did to San Francisco? We must stop voting Democrat. Yes. And so we know that Proposition 50 is on the ballot in November to basically leave it up to the voters as to whether voters in California want to snatch 5 seats from the Republicans because they're doing that here in Texas, snatching seats from the Democrats. And it sounds like they're going to be doing it somewhere else. So, that'd be a mighty blow if Californians voted no on that, because it would give Republicans a stronghold. Mr. Freightliner, how you doing? Says black folks been knowing this. It's a hot topic every 3 months. Been that way for the last 5 years. They are going to take care of these illegal Latinos and let us know where we stand. Damn, they already let us know, right? Emmett, how you doing? Says I won't vote for Newsom. Yeah, that's not looking good for him at all. King Shaw, how you doing? Says all Newsom got to do is moonwalk. You better stop. And FBAs will still vote for him in 2028. Oh, don't get me wrong. I believe he'll get the lion's share of the black vote, but will he get as much as the people before him did? I would say no. Claire, how you doing? Haas, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Fane, hope you're doing good. He says just cut the check, dodge the smoke screen. Yep. Who else? Making it all the way to the bottom. Oh, I got to the bottom. Woohoo! Willie, how you doing? Says I'm born and raised in San Francisco. Pay me, Gavin. Yeah, write the check. But it's games, so we need to play games with them. You want to play a game? We want to play games too. It's called hide and seek. You know, when it comes to the ballot, we gonna hide, and you're gonna have to wonder where the hell we went, because we're not voting for you, since you want to play games, right? Charles says, remember my Black FBA Foundation or Black American People Today. We will see. Thank you, Buckhorse, for holding down the comment section. And the truth is, it says being extreme consumers is our downfall. We got to stop that. It's been said over and over and over and over again. We got to stop that. Stop spending with people who do not like us, and in fact harm us. Right? So stop. It could all be so simple. Common Man says, my grandparents were born 10 years after the Civil War at Demetria K. They were born free people in South Carolina, but not really exactly, because we know a lot of those free people got gaffled up, right? It's like you ain't free no more, especially there in South Carolina where the Gullah Geechee are barely, right? Because they're still trying to take the land, and they just do a whole lot of foolishness. Yeah, freedom is just it's an odd word when it comes to us, because even in 2025, we're free physically, but we're not really free from a lot of other things. And we're really not free from the things that we do to ourselves too. You know, like giving all of our money away to people who do not like us. We could free ourselves from that oppression. We just choose not to do it. The way we vote, we're not free. We can be if we just say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to vote for you. I'm going to vote for somebody who's going to do something for us. But we choose to be chained to oppression. We are choosing that. Now, I know Kanye said some things that had everybody mad. I got the gist of what he was saying. He kind of, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he spoke about it as well. And I agree that, Kanye kind of jumbled it a little bit, I think. But I understood what he meant. I don't think he was talking about our ancestors per se. I think he was talking about us now. We are, we kind of want to be slaves. I know that's hard to hear, but we do. Just by our behaviors every day, we whine and cry about what white supremacy is doing to us, but we want to stay chained to them. If we talk about segregation, a lot of us will lose our minds. Well, why? Well, why? I just want to live. Why? They don't want to live next to you. So once we unlearn that, and like I said, it was about a couple months ago, just started thinking, just stop dead in my tracks. And I thought, I used to think, I hope that my parents or even my grandparents, would live to see where we get reparations. Well, my mom's gone on. My dad is 81. He may see it. I don't know. But then I got to thinking, well, I'm 54. Will I live to see if we get reparations? Will I live to see Black Americans functioning the way we are meant to function? That was scary to me. Now, I'm not saying I'm going anywhere anytime soon, but just the fact that I had that thought. And so it's like, okay, well, my daughter, well, grandchildren, if I ever have any, or am I, get any rather, or my great nieces and nephews, will they ever see it? Will we ever pull ourselves together to where it won't just be conversation, that it will actually see it being done? I don't know. It's scary to think that I may not never see it. So we have to think about those things because, you know, tomorrow's not promised. Yes, indeed. Facts, not feelings. And Bakari, how you doing? Says facts, left wing, right wing, same bird. Yep. So anyway, I think I acknowledge everybody. Van Tran, how you doing? Says two wings of the same bird. Malcolm X. Yep. It is. African Native, how you doing? I saw you earlier too, huh? So anyway, y'all join me tomorrow on African Diaspora News Channel. M, how you doing? At 11 a.m. Central Time. We're going to have a great conversation. I'm only there half an hour because I have to make room for all the other content creators, their stuff to go up. So I'll put up another notice tomorrow on my page. I thought I did it on Facebook, but I forgot to do it. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last one of y'all for everything that you do, whether you're moderators, you donated, you liked, you subscribed, or just had a conversation here with me today. Thank you so much. It is much appreciated. So in the meantime, I will see y'all tomorrow on the African Diaspora News Channel and then back 5 p.m. here on this channel. So in the meantime, you all have a great rest of your day. Peace.